Hey everyone, this is me Sagar Pal. I welcome you to my new YouTube channel Sagar Programming, and you are watching C++ Sprint a Recursive Approach lecture number 3. So in today's lecture we will wanna see the recursive approach of doing through array and vectors. So first we will uh, do how to input and output the vectors and arrays. After that we will do some questions. I have prepared a sheet. This is from my college, and this sheet we will solve it, and like few of the questions I will solve, and the rest of the questions you have to do it by yourself. So this sheet I will put up in the description box. So let's get started. So first we will see the input output, how to do input output through vectors, public arrays. I will do by both. So let me open my terminal. I will make a copy of the basic syntax. Input output. Let's name it input output. Let's open it now. So how to do input output in an array? So array, let me show you how to create an array. And what is array? Array is nothing but a collection of similar kind of items, and it is a continuous memory. The array can be of collection of int. It can be the collection of uh, characters, means letters, alphabets. It can be the collection of boolean values, true, false. It can be the collection of yeah, these many. Uh, arrays collection also itself consists of array. Then it becomes 2D array, or vector of vector. If we will see in terms of uh, vectors. Those who don't know what is vector, so vector is nothing but a similar kind of array. Let me complete first the array, then I will tell you what is vector. So in this way, we used to create an array. Whatever is the size of the array, we used to put it here. Suppose I'm giving the array size is 5, so I'm in the square brackets give the size. So this is how we have created the array. Now if I want to input it, so and input, when I'm saying inputting the array, I will not use the for loop. I will use the recursive approach to input this array. So for doing the recursive approach, I will call another function called input, and in this I will pass this array itself and size of this array. Size of this array is 5, so 5, and an iterator I will pass 0. So let me write the function definition also, because it is not doing anything, it is only inputting the array. So I will make it as void input int arr. uh, During the function definition, it is not required to give the size, but if you will give, then it is okay. Either way you can do. This is size, then iterator. Now if iterator will reach up to the size, then it will return nothing. So I will write like this: if else and we are putting it under C in ARRIT. IT is iterator. Yeah, this much is for input. So let me run this much, then we will see how we should do the output. So whenever if it is not showing any error, then it has ran successfully. Now for calling it dot slash input output. So it is asking to input. So let me give the five numbers. One, sorry, one thing we have not done it. That's why it was happening. We have not increased the iterator. So whenever it is doing else part, then for the next upcoming thing, it should iterate it also. So after this, after inputting the things, then we will increase the iterator, and then we will return. We will input ARR, comma size, and then iterator. Yeah, everything is fine. So it is asking to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stopped. So this is how we have input the uh, 1D array whose size is 5. Now let's output this. So for outputting this array, I will create another array, another function. In this also we will pass the same parameters. Same function definition will also be there. Same thing will happen here. Like if iterator will be equal to size, then it should return nothing. Else see out that now here I am giving space between every element. If you want, you can give uh, a new line also. That is up to you. Now let's run it. This time I am giving space between all the elements, and you can see it is giving the output 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want, you can give the other values also. Like I have given 1 2 3 5 only. You, if you want, you can give 5 78 1 3 4. So total 5 values, and it is giving the same output. So this is how the input output works. Now we will do with vector. We will see how vector work, and the the main benefit of doing the vector is, okay, first let me tell you what is vector. So vector is also a, a group of similar kind of values, similar kind of data types, and it is in a continuous memory or a contiguous memory, either way we can say it. And and the good thing, the advantage of having using the vector is that we can resize the vector. In this we have seen, like, we have given the value 5, but in the vector we can give this chance to user to make the choice how many elements should be there, and according to that we can resize that. We can have the size of that array, or we can say, when we say the flexibility of size, then it comes a vector. So if you are not understanding, it's okay, you will understand when I will code it. So let me close this and open a new thing, and let's make a new cp start dot cpp. I have already made, for not writing it again and again the code. Input out, input in, out, vector, vector dot cpp. So how to create a vector and how to initialize the values? For that we have to use a header file called h-include vector. The one advantage I have already told, that is the issue of size, and another advantage is there, that we can return the output as a vector, because every function gives an output as a single element only. So if we want to return a full vector and we want to make use of recursion there, then we make use of vector, so that as a single output of a function, it returns itself as a vector, not as a single element. So if we want to return a vector from an array from the function, we can't do that. We can also do from the pointer also, but not going there. I'm taking the use of vector only, and then we will see. So for creating the vector, and what is the return type, we can write it here, vector int, and and let's name the vector name as v, and and we will make a size, and we will input this size. Before inputting the size, let's give a console message, that how many elements in vector. Now let's call the input function input int, no, not int, v comma size comma 0. Again the input return type should be void, so void input int, no, not this time, not int, this time it should be vector and its type vector int and then v, and then int size and int iterator. Now if size equal to iterator, then return nothing, else write c in v it iterator plus plus, then input v comma size comma iterator, then close it. Now let's run this. G++ in out vector dot cpp. This writing this statement I have already told in the previous videos. If you have not watched that previous video, please watch it, then come back again. G++ in out vector dot cpp hash out in out input file in out vector dot cpp is the same as the output file terminated. In out vector input v dot size dot 0 into v namespace in out vector dot cpp go in out vector dot cpp. Okay, cpp I have given, that's why. So it ran successfully. Now dot slash in out vector, how many elements? Let's give it 3 elements. It is asking to input 43, 65, 12. Segmentation fault. So here comes the twist. This is the wrong way of doing the inputting the vector. Why this is the wrong way of inputting the vector is that because uh, here we have not initialized the size of the vector, though it is not necessary to initialize the size of the vector. But if you are initializing the size of the vector, then you can do this approach. But if you are initializing, then again it becomes like a array. So here what we have to do, we will make use of pushback function. um, how pushback function works, like without having the size of the array earlier only if we have not initialized the suppose the 5 size of the array, though we can do it here like this also, like we can give the size of the array like 5, or if this is the case, then we will create a vector after inputting the size and we will write it size here. Then it also works, but from my opinion the right way of doing inputting the vector is without creating the size there, and we can push back the elements. I mean, what we will do, we will create an int element and we will see in this int element, and this is not required, and this iterator is also not required. No, iterator is required. Iterator is required. V dot pushback. I will also tell another way of creating the array. V dot pushback element, and this way it should work now. So pushback, what pushback function does at the end of the array, previous it was empty. At the end of the array it input that whatever the element it we will input, that we will push back to the uh, array or vector, whatever we say. So it is asking how many vectors, so let's give it 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. And another way of inputting and outputting the vector, let me uh, copy paste this code. Vi in out vector dot cpp, vi in out vector 2 dot cpp. So what I was saying here, after creating the int size, this vector, instead of initializing it here, we can write it here, vector int v and then size, and then v equal to size. Now one more thing you have to learn it here. Then while inputting the value, we have to put it ampersand here, vector int ampersand here, because we are passing the call by reference. Ampersand ampersand v, why we are doing is because whatever the value it is coming from here, it should be as a reference. I mean, whatever is there, uh, the copy will be made. That's why we are taking it as an ampersand. Without ampersand it will also run, but when you will output that elements, then it will be difficult for you. So so previous, if we will output that in the previous example, if we will output it, then it will work fine. Here we will also make an output function. In the previous example also, you have to make the output function and check it is working or correctly or not. So instead of creating the element and doing that, we can also do like C in V and IT plus plus input. After that, G plus plus in out vector 2 dot cpp in out vector 2, then in out vector 2, oh sorry, dot slash in out vector 2. How many elements? Let's give it 6 this time. 1 2 3 4 5 54 65. Working perfectly. Oh shit, we have to close this now. We have in out vector 2. See, if you will write this command again and again, then it will only come into your practice. Now here we have to create another function, output v comma size v comma size comma 0. Yeah. Actually, this time size is not required actually. Yeah. We can do in this previous also sizes, but let us do in this way only. Then I will omit and show you. Void output vector int, and this time ampersand is not required because we are not copying those value. Int size and int iterator. We can either do in that way also if size is not equal to iterator, and or we can write if size equal to iterator, then return nothing else write cout vit and then give a small space, then iterator plus plus, and then output v comma size and then iterator. Now let's run this. G plus plus in out vector 2 dot cpp go in out vector 2 dot slash in out vector 2. How many elements? Let's give it 3 this time. 45 space 12 space 89. Oh, actually, so it is working fine. Uh, the values which we have given. Previously, some glitch was there. Actually, it is something happened. I don't know. Like it is working fine with the same code, and now see. Let me show you the output. In out vector 2, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 values it is giving the output. So this is how the input output of arrays and vector has been done. Now let's come to the sheet. So in this sheet, the first question is create a function called third, which gives you third element from the list. So we have to create a function name called third, and it should give the character as the output, the J character. So we will create a function whose return type will be the char, and the input, either you can use the string array or you can go with vector array. It's your choice. I'm going with the vector array. So let's do it now. cp start.cpp and sheet question 1 vi sheet question 1.cpp. So because I will use the vector, so hatch include vector, and the third element it should return. So int, sorry, vector int. So we can initialize the value here itself also if we want. So I mean whatever is the value mj kg, we can initialize it here also. I guess this is not the proper syntax. M G K M G J B G M G J B G B and G. So this is how a character array is initialized. This you can do with the help of integer vector, and try that and write it down in the comment section. And then we have to call the function third, and we will pass this vector v and a 0 value we will pass for iteration. Now this will return a char type. So char third vector int v comma int iterator. Now we have to return the third element. So when the third element we will reach, the iterator would be 2. So if iterator is equal to 2, then return this value. So whatever the value has came, so it should be v and it. Else, else, else we should call this third function again. Third, third, then v comma it. And because we are incrementing it also, so plus plus it I have given. So this is the pre-increment. What it does, increment the iterator, then pass that value. If I will post increment, then it will pass the value, after that it will increment. So this is the small concept. I guess everything is fine. Let's check it. Third, if it is 0, then it will call this function with the help with the incrementer. If it is 1, then again, if it will become 2, then vit. Yeah. And now, because it is returning a char, so we should store it, either store this value or directly output this. So I will out dot slash sheet question 1. So as you can see the output, it is showing j. So we have defined the vector here itself. If you want, like as previously we have done, we have input the error array also. In that way also we can do that. This we will see in the next question. We will try to do this in the next question. Now what is the second question? Create a function called second last, which gives you second last element from the list. Okay, so this, yeah, this we can do it. There are two approaches of doing this question. We have to print the last element, and we will make use of vector h include vector. This time we will input our vector. So let's create the vector int v, and let's ask the user how many elements should be there. See out how many elements. Seen the size, and before inputting the size, let's create the size. Now let's pass this size input v comma size and an iterator 0. Int void input int vector int. Vector int v And in this also we have to use the ampersand, because otherwise, because whenever a function is called, we have to make a copy of that. So vector int ampersand v and int size comma int iterator. Yeah. Now if size is equal to iterator, then return nothing else else we int element seen the element v dot push back the element and then call the function again input v comma size comma plus plus iterator. Yep. Now this input is finished. Let's run this much first. G++ sheet question2.cpp or sheet question2.cpp, not sheet question2. V dot push back element input semicolon is left there. Shit. So now let's create a function called second last, and in that we will pass this vector v, its size and iterator as 0, and it will return an element. So we will output this. So the function definition will go here like this, in int second last vector int v int size comma int iterator. If first let me write the else part, then it will make you understand better that when it is not at that element, then what we will do, we will simply call the second last again, v comma size comma plus plus iterator. But when it will be second last, so how to write the second last element? So it will go like, your iterator should be equal to size minus 2. Minus 1 will be this last element, minus 2 will be the second last element. If that is the case, then return v it. Everything is fine. Now let's call this function again, and second last vector int control reaches end of non-void function. Okay, if iterator is equal to this non-void function, it gives an error when this value doesn't match at that position. So if else, if this is the case, then do this. Let's close this into the bracket. Then okay, return keyword will come here. Yeah, so this will be like this only. Save it. How many elements? Let's take 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after 8, it is showing 7. So outputting the 7. I mean, it is the second last. So this is how it works. But is this the shortest way of doing this question? Pause the video and think it again. Now, after thinking, come back and now see this solution. So instead of doing the if else, doing the recursion part, we can return simply the element. I mean, return v size minus 2. Save it. How many elements? Let's take 3 this time. 1, 2, 3. And see, 2 it is coming. This is the shortest way of doing, I guess. So this is how uh, first I told you how to input and output the array. Then I told you how to input and output the vector, and in between I also told you how to create an array, how to create a vector. I told you two ways of creating inputting the vector. One is at the first itself give the size element and then input using the scene. And the second way is don't use scene, uh, use the scene, use pushback also. So this is the second way of doing. And then we have solved two questions. One is the third element it will give, and the second question is it will give second last element. So this much is for this video, and in the next video we will do some more question on this topic only. We will do some recursion question. We will solve this sheet only, and we will let's catch you in the next video. So तब तक के लिए टाटा बाय बाय.